Hello, welcome to So Bad It's Good. On today's show, we watched Swamp Thing!
Swamp Thing!
Do you struggle to say it without going for
totally.
the swamp?
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit, because it's
the
the only thing that's any good about
It's the only
Yeah.
the only thing I remember about this film is that wasn't in it.
Who's that?
Like it just fell over, didn't it?
It did.
Starts like an episode of the A-Team with a big, broad helicopter shot. A lady arrives at a research facility.
What, they sent a woman out here?
We then meet some goons, or see some goons. We then meet Holland, who's a chap who's experimenting on some kind of swamp-based stuff. We learn that Holland is actually, this is the whole plot of the movie, he's kind of bioengineering a plant that has an animal's aggressive power for survival.
I am very close to developing a plant with an animal's aggressive power for survival.
That's not a terrible idea at all, is it? I'm going to create an apex predator.
The goons then ambush them in the lab. We discover that a chap who we thought was Ritter, in a Mission Impossible style reveal, becomes Arcane, the big bad.
Oh no.
You have heard of, but never seen me, so I will introduce myself.
Woo!
Such a shame, because
Yep.
he was a better character.
He was. We then we
I'm sure I'll find out.
Why was it?
During the ambush, Holland gets the weird green goop spilled on him, sets the light, jumps in the swamp. Cable then gets caught. Swamp Thing then saves her because he's appeared now, the Swamp Thing. Cover up, you bitch. The goons then chase Cable again. The Swamp Thing then saves her again. Swamp Thing then has a really sensual moment with a tree. There's then... Yeah. Cable then gets captured again. Swamp Thing then saves her again, but in the process of this one, loses an arm.
Oh no!
He then learns to talk.
It must.
Hurt only when I laugh.
I think I preferred it when he didn't talk. We then get a weird washing scene with Cable, where we see her boobs for no reason.
No.
See his little vine coming across the screen.
Bizarre. Not her boobs, but the situation.
The fact that she's got her boobs out at all, like, why is this...
Yeah, ladies love doing it. They always say, please let me get mad. And swim in the
I'm
swamp.
just standing.
I mean, she's washing in a swamp, and there's still crocodiles or alligators there.
Why is she washing like that? Why is she dancing? Yeah, he's knocking one out.
Watch his arm grow now. They both then get captured. Arcane becomes a monster. Swamp Thing's arm then grows back because he puts it in the sunlight. He has a fight with the Arcane monster.
This is not going to be a good fight because that thing can't see shit.
That thing is terrible.
Cable gets mortally wounded. Swamp Thing wins the fight in a really aggressively violent kind of stick-beating finale. He then heals Cable's mortal wound with some of his Swamp Thing moss, and then he fucks off back into the swamp, and that's the end.
Like Godzilla. That's it. Wow. Wow.
The movie obviously centres around the title character, the Swamp Thing, who's portrayed by a chap called Derek Durock, who actually by trade was a stuntman. So he was hired to be the Swamp Thing, like far shot. It was actually supposed to be Alec Holland who would have the makeup done for all kind of the close stuff. It turned out that they looked so remarkably different when made up, they just said, this isn't going to work, so we're just going to have you as Swamp Thing and you as Alec Holland. And I don't think he was that keen on the idea to start with, but he did then return for a lot of the... There was definitely 2 sequels he returned for.
He doesn't do anything in the swamp that impressively. Like, he's not at one with the swamp. He's just a man in a costume in a swamp.
Flashing around in the swamp.
For me, doesn't really leave much of an impression.
I called him a wet lettuce.
About to sing a song. I'm wrong.
The character is Alec Holland, played by an actor called Ray Wise. Ray Wise, I only know. I think he's been in lots of stuff.
He's been in lots of stuff.
I think he was in lots of Mad Men.
I understand you have a sensor out. You want to go and take a look?
Well, I guess I could ask Charlie to give us an escort.
Maybe we could ask your mother to come along, too.
So I called him a sleazy horn dog.
Yeah,
Because
which is how he does come across in that way.
I mean, just look at the most creative thing a man and a woman can do together, and you'll see something growing. Unpredictable. Hot.
He's stuck in the swamp with his sister for 18 months, and he's probably had thoughts that he shouldn't have had. Mm-hmm. And then this new Ooh-Cha-Cha turns up.
All right.
Ooh-Cha-Cha. And Cable's her name, is it?
No. Oh, I haven't even written her name down. Oh, yes, I have. Alice Cable.
Cancel him.
I just had her down as woman originally. Because, no.
Yeah. Why did you say it? And then you go, why did you cancel on me? That's why, because you called her a woman.
No, there was a reason why I had it down as woman. Her name is not mentioned for a good 10 minutes of the film. So I wrote her down as woman just so that I had a list of characters from the start.
Yeah,
she appears on the screen and you don't know who she is for ages. So that's why I went for... I could have gone for lady, I suppose.
Like the swamps?
Hate the swamps. Hate bugs. Hate things without legs.
Neatness freak, huh?
You could eat off my kitchen floor.
You could eat off the swamps. Maybe half the world could eat off the swamps.
He talks about there being like 6.5 billion people on the planet in the year 2001 and the majority of them starving or needing food. Yeah. That's why they're doing what they're doing. It's in order to actually create food that can grow anywhere.
This has all the thrills of watching grass grow.
Aren't there some sensors out there you could be working on?
Kind of really the lead character of the movie, if you exclude Man in Suit, is Alice Cable.
Alice Cable, new kid on the block.
All she actually does in this movie is run a bit, get caught, run away again, get caught. She does kick some guys in the nuts and pushes a man off a boat, so she's not soft. Like, it's not like super damsel in distress. But overall, her thing there really is only to, and they even reference it in the script.
And we'll find the girl, the beast will follow. It doesn't exactly maintain a low profile.
She's just this device in the story to get Swamp Thing into these situations. She's played by a lady called Adrienne Barbeau. She's still a working actress now. Like, she's done lots of, I guess she's kind of, you know, for the most part, like a bit part actor. But she was recently in the Swamp Thing series where it got remade. She was a character in
as
that.
As an homage to her original appearance.
Voice work for DC Comics, where she's played like Catwoman and various other things on like cartoons. She's voiced computers in 2 different Sylvester Stallone movies and been uncredited on both occasions.
Wow, that is a very specific fact about somebody.
Yeah, so she was the computer voice in Demolition Man.
This device was widely utilized in the urban wars of the late 20th century.
She was the voice of Central in the Stallone Judge Dredd movie.
There will be increased patrol in Sector 4.
Harry Ritter / Mr. Arcane.
Charlie, did anything suspicious happen while we were gone?
You're damn right. Something suspicious did happen.
This is the biggest shame because Ritter
was
Harry
literally
the most interesting, funniest character.
A stupid broad of an agent, first day on the job, takes the scientists we're all supposed to be guarding for an unguarded romp in the bush.
Harry Ritter, the angry Englishman. That's just what I've got him written down as. Just angry Englishman.
And if I have my way, and by God I will, you'll be on the next chopper back to Washington. A woman has no place around a guy like you.
He was just great. Anytime anyone spoke to him, his response was to just bark in their faces.
Begin, Charlie. I want to hear everything about the arcane business now.
This dude.
The chap he becomes is Arcane. And he's played by an actor called Louis Jordan. He was also the main bad guy in Octopussy.
The egg has been recovered.
That's the main bad guy, but he's so just talky.
Captured our knight. Exposed his queen.
Expose his willy.
What the fuck does he become?
I don't know.
Do you remember?
No.
Oh my god, what's that? Oh my god. Oh my god.
Turning into a bin bag that would shit.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Knocks back a load of the juice, and the big reveal is this like cheap, fancy dress rat costume.
That is awful.
Very Power Rangers-esque, just starts going. "Arr, arr."
The eyes are weird. The
The
eyes
eyes,
are freaky.
the eyes ruin it. I get what
All
they're
of it
going
ruins
for.
it. It's all awful.
No, but for the time, I think you've got a suit and a concept. The concept art looks okay. I think that's kind of cool. But the eyes just look like they've gotten the 10-year-old to do it.
I think I will say the same thing as what they did with Swamp Thing. They lit it also too well.
Oh yeah. I suppose the alligators come out at night, so that's probably why they didn't do any filming at night, Tom.
Something that should
It
look
does.
so impressive, because like Mac and Me, it is the thing the film is about, and it looks so awful.
It does ruin it. It's just like there's a man just clumping around in a suit. He looks like he's just come out of the hospital like 2 days after having a major accident.
That thing is smart.
Very smart, Bruno, very smart.
Bruno's an interesting one for me. He's probably the character, if I'm honest, with the most depth in this entire movie.
It really is the story of a henchman that does well, isn't it?
It's an example to henchmen everywhere.
So you meet him first, and he's just kind of generic henchman.
Yeah.
But then he seems to kind of have... They try to show like this softer side where he finds Holland had a necklace. And he kind of finds it, Bruno, and then he hangs it up on a branch.
Yeah.
Or like in the burnt-out lab. And it's sort of almost seen to be kind of this nice moment. And then they're all sat round dinner once Arcane has got the formula and got the notebooks and everything that he needs in order to make it.
And he's been promoted.
It's like his victory dinner. He thinks he's made it, but then he gets the stuff slipped into his drink.
Arcane!
And then at the table, he transforms, obviously fakes, really, really convincingly fakes having drunk this potion. Falls under the table and then appears as like a 4-foot version of himself with pointy ears, a weird nose, and clothes that have also been shrunk by the formula. And then he comes good at the end. That's literally, this movie should have been about Bruno's story.
You should sleep, sir.
So there's one other character that I don't know her name, and I don't really care to know her
it's
name.
Arcane's assistant.
Right.
Yep.
And in your hands, sir, how magnificent, how beautiful.
She basically was only meant to be in one scene, and they found her so interesting that they had her in more scenes. And I think, actually, she may have married Wes Craven.
The world will bow or star.
Yes. Yes.
I like her. She's nice. Stick her in some more stuff. She's quite interesting. She's not Wes. Well, I want to bang her, so put her in the movie.
Tell Karen to bring me a glass of brandy.
What is going on there?
I can't tell whether
Whether
whether she's doing it on purpose or she's just not very good, but I found it a fascinating performance.
That costume is so awful.
It's not great. But it just needs to be fitted more, I think.
Fucking hell. This is so badly made.
I think the budget for this was probably less than $1 million or around $1 million, maybe.
I was going to say $1 million, because not necessarily for how it was filmed, but probably how they tried to market it.
According to IMDb, $3 million. This came out in 82, so it would have been filmed in like 80, 81. For that time, I imagine that's not an insignificant budget to give something, is it?
Yeah, it's not massive.
No?
It's not. It's
yeah,
all
but
right. It's all right, but it's
it
not.
doesn't look like 3 million quid's worth.
So interestingly, the budget for Elm Street was 1.8 million. So basically 2/3 of the budget that he had for this.
Yeah.
And that movie made 25 million worldwide. Whereas there is no information on box office for Swamp Thing. At least on IMDb. There might be somewhere else.
It's because it doesn't exist. What a horrible place to film. Oh, it'd be awful. Lots of them apparently used copious amounts of cocaine to get through this shoot.
I mean...
Well, I mean...
Yeah. Fun fact, some of the crew actually returned for the sequel of this movie.
Oh.
So it couldn't have been that bad a gig. Perhaps they were the real cocaine heads.
Yeah, it was the
like
coke.
They
It
were
was
the ones
coke
that were just like couldn't get through a day. Just
They probably just don't remember the actual shoot.
Derek DeRock, the Swamp Thing, had to take repeated breaks due to heat exhaustion. And the guy in the arcane rat suit just out and out fainted.
Really dangerous. Like if you just just fallen into the swamp, no one realised.
Can you imagine being an actor and dying on this shit?
Oh yeah, Jesus. Can you imagine? Yeah,
Yeah.
this being your lasting effort in cinema.
Yeah, and it was this. And they're they go, how did he die? And he goes, well, he fainted in that hot costume, and then he sort of drowned, but then actually an alligator came and ripped his head off.
Yeah. We could have saved him, but we were having lunch.
We were all on cocaine.
Yeah.
Do you remember the actor Raoul Julia? His last role before he passed away was as M. Bison in the Street Fighter movie with Van Damme and Kylie Minogue.
To be fair, though,
I still
a
remember,
very memorable part.
Yeah,
like,
but he played it very well.
It does, but not for the right reasons. Not in a movie.
I respect going on that one.
I wouldn't say respect,
No,
but
I do.
like it's not bad.
That's
he was a good M. Bison.
He knew what that shit was and went, fuck it.
For you, the day Bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
The only thing I think that stood out to me in any of the action scenes was the use of the judo chop. Judo chop! As ridiculous of a move it is, I'd much rather that than generic fight scene. I'd rather just judo chop it. Let's move on.
There is a scene that I really just I thought it was brilliant. It's one of the best scenes in the movie. It happens at 5 minutes in, or roughly 5 minutes in. One of the research guys, or whoever he might be, gets kind of cornered by the henchman, and then is sort of held by the henchman, and Ferret, our lead henchman with the red headband, just suddenly, out of his pocket, just pulls a poisonous snake and makes it bite the man that he's caught.
I think that's his improv that they go on about.
That's his crazy.
Oh, do you think he just had a snake in his pocket and the guy's reaction is real?
I'm hoping it is. I really hope it is.
In the script, it was written judo chop, and he went, nah, not this time. It was like, Wes, I've got something, Wes. Don't worry, I've got it. No, just read the script. No, Wes, I've got it.
No,
I've got it,
could have
Wes.
just do.
No, Wes, I've got it. Look.
I'm
going to fucking get him with this shit. I'm going to get him with this shit.
What is he doing?
Actually poisonous.
It's a live snake.
It's fucking crazy. He's off his rocker.
There are some incredible screen wipe transitions in this film, which I think are supposed to be there to kind of promote or kind of accentuate the fact that this is a comic book style movie.
It's like
or
the
comic
Batman transition.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh my God.
That was cat's bumhole, that was. This film was very boring.
It was.
It was boring, and I know there's fans of this crap, but it was boring. It's half a mark, and that's being generous. No one should watch this for a laugh. If you're interested in Wes Craven's back catalogue, fine.
Or
go
you're
ahead.
a DC fan and interested in seeing what they did with some of the property.
Yep, sure, go for it. As it's so bad it's good, don't bother, but it's half a star.
It's so dull to watch and painful to go through, watching him stumble through the bloody swamps. No, I'm going half as well. I've kind of enjoyed talking about it because it was kind of funny, but it's not worth sitting through. So just watch us talk about it because that's all you need.
I'm going to go for half a mark. I don't think it deserves anything more than that because being the lead on this one means that I have to watch the movie again. For the others, it's kind of optional. Normally, we all get involved, but this time around, Chris didn't.
This was a hard sell
which
for
is
both of us.
Yeah, which is fair. Like, it's
really.
actually fair. I was supposed to watch all of this. I managed to get through an 1.5-hour movie in 35 minutes because I just skipped because so little happens.
It's all it deserves.
Yeah, so I would say half a mark is probably generous, but also I don't want to give it nothing because I think it's worth seeing the awful costumes.
So Swamp Thing gets 1.5 out of 15.
Oh, 10%.
Nerd.
Just did that straight away.
Christopher, what should they do if they've made it this far and to help spread the word?
I'd say go sit down and have a cup of tea first because I'm sure you're exhausted. And then whilst you're having your cup of tea, get the biscuits, get a Sharpie, write on the biscuits, watch Bad Time Babble, and then put it in a shoebox.
This is not good.
Take it out to the woods.
Let him finish.
And then bury it. And then... What's wrong with that?
I mean, you're burying a biodegradable item.
Well, yeah, I know, but then the plastic wrapper of the biscuits will remain. And then,
I see.
In time, like a time capsule.
I misunderstood.
This is like really future.
No,
like
you're future-proofing this channel. That's good.
Long-term sort of marketing.
Well,
you've got to sprinkle some of them in there.
That's good. I always think if you've got under 300 subscribers, definitely future-proof it. Weirdly enough, I feel like that one had more thought than any of the others, but was the most useless.
If you do like this more than Chris does, click the little... There's a little thing just here, isn't there? Is it still there?
Don't point. Just don't make it weird.
You're making it difficult.
You're like
for him
the
now.
dad of YouTube.
Click at the bottom of the screen.
Do you want to subscribe to your dad?
Yeah.
So if you do like this,
he started again because I embarrassed him with the dad joke.
No, I do want them to subscribe to. If I remind you of your dad, subscribe. And we'll take them however they come. Whatever your motivation is for subscribing to this. I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
If you've got daddy issues, yeah, fine. All right. We'll take it.
So if you like it, click on it, subscribe to it.
Get your biscuits out and the Sharpie.
Cool, I've got my notes.
My notes?
I've got some pages, but there's not a lot of notes.
This is like a scale of who did what on this film. Nothing.